Salams and greetings all, Mr. Umoji here, inviting one and all to the upcoming Umoji Games, July 1st to 3rd in the windy city of Chicago. Coming to you live here from Toronto, Canada. Get ready to view the live draw. It's going to be exciting. Look forward to seeing you all soon. Safe travels and an early Eid Mubarak. Woo! Woo! Umoja, Umoja, Umoja.
For me, Chicago was a point where we moved away from the normal hosting cities, the New Yorks, the Orlandos, the Torontos of the world, the Allentowns of the world, and we ventured out into new uncharted territory. Never ever had we hosted before in a city remotely. You know, usually we would have one of the board members present in that city, but Chicago, we cut our wings and we said, let loose and fly.
Chicago was the turning point for us. I know you were, because I believe that after New York, we realized that we've got a huge market that we have to, that we can provide a great offering for, but we had to take a step back and focus on what matters and how to really take all our learnings from New York and implement it.
We were trying to engage new communities, and I think that going somewhere where we didn't have any roots there, we didn't know any people, not many connections. I think what brought us there was that we were just trying to expand, branch out, trying to figure out where this thing, how much it can grow.
And the field was right next to the hotel. There were all the fields together. It was in Schaumburg. It was pretty reserved. It was really nice. It was quiet. So it just ended up, personally, it was my favorite tournament. It just worked out well.
Each field was so close together that you could be sitting between two fields and watch 4 or 5 games all at once, ranging from men's games to boys' games. It was just an amazing charm that brought to the games.
So the funniest moment on our way to Umoja was definitely when we were well into our journey and we stopped for a break to praise Allah. And so we went to the trunk, trying to look for my prayer mat, and guess what happened? My bag was not there. I had left it at home. Everyone else laughed, so I guess it was funny for everybody, but I wasn't laughing that much. But yeah.
And then you had to go to Target and rebuy everything.
Yeah.
Cleats, pajamas. It was funny.
One of the funniest moments I have traveling to Umoji Games was actually my first time ever going to the games. I was coming from the shuttle from Toronto to Chicago, and we actually got stuck at the border for 2 to 3 hours. And what we decided to do was play this game where we try to analyze and guess which cars or vehicles are going to get stopped by the border agents. It was just a fun thing to do, and we played like with the refs that were on the bus, with the coaches that were on the bus, all the families, all the players. It was just a way for everyone to bond and just pass that time.
The part that stood out with soccer in Minnesota is it grabbed different types of people. It grabbed the Iranian families, it grabbed the Iraqi families, and so it was kind of special that there was a soccer tournament going on, and people were talking about it, and it was in New York the year before, and it was really cool and really special. So we're like, all right, let's see what we can do and put this together. We've never done this before. We've never attended a tournament, specifically from, Joffrey Sports of Minnesota. Like, we've never sent a team, so it was kind of special for our first time, and we wanted to take advantage of the opportunity.
We wanted to really improve the experience. And when you go into any like Disney or anywhere that there's like a family-friendly event, there's usually a mascot. There is some sort of face of the organization.
I remember it was a last-minute idea. We had an ET meeting, and this was one of the topics that Nayu brought about and said, let's enhance this experience. Instead of just it being a tournament, come in, play, and leave, let's enhance it and build it into an experience. And then we were scrambling last minute because it was like a month before the tournament, and we were looking for costumes, and we were Googling places. Where can we get a costume from in a very short period of time?
We really wanted to bring this mascot to the games, but the one we ended up buying was not what we were expecting. It ended up coming with these large red eyes, hearts, and this beautiful smile, but looked nothing like our mascot. So we ended up buying yards of felt, cutting it. I used an old dupatta and created these net eyes. But lo and behold, at the end of it, we came out with this gorgeous Mr. Umoji.
It's like you have a hidden identity, like it's your second identity. Like, you are like this person who just walks around and no one knows it's you. And like, they're all like so friendly. It's like, and then after, like, you go tell them like, oh, hi, I'm Mr. Umoji. They're like, what?
And it was that changed our trajectory for the years to come. We pivoted from logistics and soccer to making this a community experience. And the mascot was one of many changes that we made on that journey.
It was outdoors for women, just like New York. The fields were similar in the way that you could walk from the men's fields to the women's fields. So that was nice. I think Chicago is an interesting location. The city is amazing. I actually love Chicago. I go there a lot for work. So I love the city, but the fields were amazing. And the weather, I think, overall was pretty good.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Azhar Shirazi, and this is my wife,
Huda Abdul Razak.
And we are both really excited to be able to host you here in our city of Chicago for the 6th annual Umoji Games.
Do make it a priority to come to the gala dinner next Saturday night at our beautiful...
So as we were preparing for Umoji Games 2017, we had a very unique opportunity to help families that had just migrated from Afghanistan and had settled in the Ohio area. So we had an opportunity to bring them into the Umoji family, bring them to the community that we serve. And it worked out really amazing. So we reached out to them as they kind of were connecting with a local mosque in Ohio, and we invited them, and there was such an overwhelming positive response.
Before that, we used to just play soccer with people that don't even know how to play the sport. Personally, I don't even know how to play the sport soccer, but I'm kind of good at it. So the first time we went there, it wasn't, for me, it was challenging for the whole team for us.
So we had initially planned for one bus, but as it turned out that there was so much interest that we had to hire another bus, get another additional 15 or so rooms in the hotel, find additional funding for helping this whole cause. We had a shortfall. And as we had Umoji Games 2017 started, we still had the shortfall. But as we were kind of working through day one, something miraculous happened. I had 2 donors that had called and reached out, and basically each one pledged about $12,000 and $13,000 that basically was exactly the shortfall that we had. And that kind of affirmed that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala works in miraculous ways. And it's amazing to see.
They were kind of scared in the beginning, and the thing is, like, because they hadn't played, they were like, they weren't scared of losing. For them, it was just having fun. So in the whole spirit of things, like, they would, like, if a goal goes in or if someone does a good shot, they'll like congratulate them. So like on the field and off the field, we've made those connections, and everyone be cheering for them, and kind of like, because even the small, like, getting one goal in was so big for them. It just kind of brought that whole cheer throughout. Like, everyone was so happy for them, and they just like made they were just like so like spiritful and like, you know, happy to be there. It just kind of like brought that vibe for everyone.
The best and the greatest outcome that we have from what started in Chicago is that the kids that we had that year actually convinced the madrasa to get professional coaches and train them every Sunday after their Sunday school. And the amazing thing is that they even go outside in the winter after their classes and play regardless of the temperature.
Stand up. Acknowledge these fine young athletes.
At Umoji Games 2017, we had the pleasure of meeting an exceptional couple, Nolan LeBlanc and his wife. They had both decided to foster initially 2 and then later on another 2 Afghani Shia children. While they themselves are not from the community, they never failed to bring their children to mosque events and of course to participate at Umoji Games.
When we first found out we're getting kids from Afghanistan, and that was way outside of our experience bubble, right? So we look at ourselves and we wonder, how are we going to achieve this? How can we do the best, or at least the least terrible job possible? So when we got them in touch with the local mosque, for example, the people at that mosque were incredibly helpful and supportive. And it makes sense to me that they would be, but they were really helpful and gave us pretty much exactly the tools we didn't have for ourselves, including, hey, we're going to this Umoji Games, you want to go?
It was during Umoji Games that the children were actually reunited with some friends that they had lived with at an Indonesian camp when they were separated from their parents during the war in Afghanistan.
So see that reunion at Umoji Games when the local mosque didn't quite have enough people they could make a full team, and so they said, but Mr. Nolan, Miss Virginia, we could help. We would love to come down and help. And so we talked to the mosque and they're like, whoa, we were going to call it off, but if you can fill the rest of that team, go for it. You can be the Al-Ahad team that year. And so, this group comes down from Grand Rapids and sort of backfills that team. And it was incredible. While they may not have the most honed technical skills, they're like a pack of wolves who've lived with each other for a long time. They really know each other, and that emotional connection.
So in New York, we recognized that there was a lot of food being wasted, and we wanted to address that. So we changed our approach. So in Chicago in 2017, we first of all decided that we will have the participants buy their own food. But the second thing we did, and which was amazing, was we set up a hunger event where we stopped all the games and we invite all the participants and all the fans who've come to get together and build food packages for the local charities there. And it was amazing to see how many participants came out to help, and ranging from young to old. It was just a great scene.
It was so diverse. I know that there was like one person was an Afghan, then basically they passed a package to an Iraqi, that they passed a package to somebody from the Indo-Pak community. And then it was just so amazing to just see everyone come together and just give back and help.
We didn't know what to expect as a facility, and it went very smoothly. Just the relaxed nature of the whole thing. It was a big event, but everyone was very it when we think of a lot of these events, it's like, just tons of people and just constant competition. And, this event was not about the competition. It was kind of about the brotherhood and sisterhood.
We did the gala at the mosque. One of the mosques, they had a hall, and that's when we started the shirt tossing, if you remember. And we probably broke a few glasses.
Yeah, we broke a few glasses there.
And noses.
I remember getting the bill.
What were you guys thinking with the shirt tossing? I mean, it's a room full of soccer players, and they can't catch.
But I was thinking, like, some of these people have given me grief.
My favorite moment during Umoja Games was in Chicago when I won the skills tournament for my division. It felt really good to win after all the practice and help from coaches and teammates.
I coach every now and then here in Dallas, youngsters. Coached when I was younger, and when I teach them, I pretty much have a feeling that as if I'm teaching my son. There's a little bit of much more closeness, and it's a wonderful feeling.
I mean, Chicago Olympic Park, I probably had come across it way before, but we were never ready to go to Chicago. So, that was a good lesson that we found a place. A few years later, we found, the right timing to go there.
Yeah, I think when people ask me, why Dearborn, why Detroit, and I was like, you just have to check out this facility. It's just something I've never seen before.